Hey everybody, how's it going? Daryl here, welcome to the channel. So my friends over at Betopper sent me this light to review, the CLB 260, and it is a moving head that is not only bright, but compact. And not only that, it is super affordable. I have a link in the description below. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and unbox this thing. All right, so there is my mover, packaged all nicely. Let's see what other goodies we have in here. We have our power con cable. We have a really thin safety strap, a couple of bolts of various sizes, a mounting bracket, and our manual. So my first impressions of this light is, wow, it is very light. It is very compact. So I'm excited to see how bright this thing actually is. This thing is only 13.5 pounds, so that is about the size of a smallish, medium-sized mover. It's almost 17 inches tall when it's facing like this. It's about 10.5 inches from handle to handle, and it's about 7.5 inches deep. So yeah, this thing is very small compared to other beams I featured on this channel. This is my third Betopper mover that I've reviewed on this channel, and the branding and the housing is not quite in line with the other movers I've reviewed. It's made with temperature resistant plastic. It has this Betopper branding right here on the side. Looks pretty nice. I'm realizing that one of these pieces of hardware is actually belongs to the handles, so that came off, so that will need to be put back on. But in general, that is something I like with movers, having handles, so you can strap this down onto the top of a totem, or it's just easier to pick up. It features a heat sink on both sides. You can kind of see in the bulb right there. It has this word Neo 3 on it. I'm not sure what that's all about. So this thing is pretty tall, but skinny. Some of the taller movers I featured on this channel weren't able to do the full 270 tilt, but this looks like it can. So sitting on top of a totem, that's able to point quite a bit down, so that is pretty nice. So the tilt is pretty good. Let's see the pan. So all the way this way, it's not quite on center, so that's a little quirky. Yeah, that's about 540 degrees, maybe a little bit more. So you get a few bonus degrees if you want to look at it that way. So on the front, we have this 5-button LCD panel, as well as some branding. In addition to the handles, you have some heat sinks right here. On the back, you have DMX in and out, as well as PowerCon in, and it's noticeably missing PowerCon out for power linking. On the bottom here, we have these 4 rubber feet and a couple of holes to mount the bracket. So in the bag, we have some washers and a screw, as well as this bracket. And one of the other screws that we found in the beginning of the unboxing, I think just fell out, and so it's here. And so we can attach any mounting hardware we want. And this just screws in right here. I think I would have preferred a quick lock system, but I guess for the price, you can't complain. A hex key to tighten this even further is not provided. It has a 9R Osram bulb, so it's 260 watts. It has a rotating color wheel with 11 colors, and you can even do split colors. It has 13 static gobos. It features an 8-facet prism, which is handy because the beam angle of this is 2.8, so it's very tight. And if you're wanting this to project onto a surface and you don't have any haze, using this prism will be very handy to give it kind of a wider output. And something to note too is that these Osram bulbs are a lot brighter than LED ones. So it does have a mechanical shutter, so it's not gonna have a smooth dimming curve. So it's basically all or nothing. Although the mechanical shutter can kind of simulate some dimming, but it's not going to be as smooth as an LED. And of course it has auto mode, sound active mode, a 12-channel DMX mode. And you can link these at master slave. If you have multiple of these, you can't link the power. And it's also worth mentioning that it has a frost filter, so that kind of turns this into a moving head wash, and that can be pretty handy. All right, so that's basically all there is to this mover. Let's get into the operation and then the demo. All right, to turn this thing on, you just simply plug in the PowerCon cable and it will turn on. But your extension cable has to be plugged in. It does this sort of booting up process where it calibrates. Also forgot to mention that it has a DMX light, so if it's connected to DMX, that will blink, which is not always my favorite when they put these types of lights in the front. They're a little bit better when they're in the back and a little more discreet. And if it has an error, then it will also indicate that right here. Okay, to change the menu, you click this back button. So you can do things like change the address, change the You can choose whether this is in master, slave, or auto mode. It has manual controls, so you don't need any DMX. You can just have this light and set a manual static scene. This is handy, like if you're just gonna use this light for a disco ball, this thing would be able to be set up pretty far away and it's really bright. Now let's turn this off. It does not remember our scenes, so you would have to set this every single time. Those are settings. So you can do stuff like tilt and pan invert, sound sensitivity, as well as a few other settings. You can change the display settings so that you can turn this display upside down. Information to see like how long this bulb has run, because like this bulb won't last as long as an LED bulb. Well, this is the CLB 2600. Yeah, it does what it says it does. It's bright with that 9R Osram bulb, and it's pretty compact, weighing only at 13 pounds. I think that the build quality leaves a little bit to be desired, but overall seems pretty serviceable. The unit itself gets pretty hot during and after operation. I do really like the warm white color. I think that is something that I'd like to see in a lot more movers going forward. This light is basically a no-frills, affordable, bright mover. What are your thoughts on this moving head light? Let me know down in the comments below, and please smash like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.